three different ones. We are going to make baked beans. We are going to make a potato and green bean casserole, not casserole, potato and green bean salad. And then we're also going to make a lentil salad. So we've got one that'll be hot, one that can be hot or cold or room temperature, whichever you prefer. And then one that is typically served room temperature or cold. So there we go. All right, to start this out, we're going to start the potatoes because they need to cook for about 20 minutes. So we're going to put these in here. And the recipe calls for covering them, and they need to be covered with like 2 inches of water. So I'm going to need probably another 4 cups to do that. So I'm going to get some water here from the stove, and we'll get those started as quickly as possible. And we will probably cover those to make sure that that goes faster. But we all know this lovely little hot plate here gets hot very quickly. We're not going to go with top speed, but we will get it going as quick as we can. And I will check them in about 10 minutes. So while that is going on, we're going to assemble the beans. And if you hear snapping in the background, IT guy is helping me. He is snapping some green beans for me, because once we cook the potatoes, then we're going to cook some green beans. All right, I'm going to get all my little lovely ingredients out of here. You know what, I'm going to stick that in there so it stays there. And I'm going to put this a little bit off to the side so you guys can see better. So we'll pull this into the mix here. Okay, so Bush's baked beans are gluten-free. I got a little worried because sometimes when they have, this says slow simmered with bacon and brown sugar, and a lot of times when they have stuff like that, they are not. Also, PSA for anybody listening, I just found this out yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. It makes a lot of sense now, but red lentils are not gluten-free. And that sounds really weird. There's no wheat in them. But hey, Christy, I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well today. We were just talking about, and this is something that I think what could affect like your son-in-law. I found out yesterday that red lentils are not necessarily gluten-free. While there's no gluten in them, there is a good chance it's, and I couldn't believe it. I looked it up, and the label says on like dry red lentils says may contain wheat. And I was like, oh, you're kidding me, man. Stuff I've been making with red lentils, I could have been glutening myself, which would explain some really unhappy tummy days. So there you go. The things you learn. But that worried me a whole lot because I'm making a recipe with lentils in it today. And I went to the brand that I'm using. Not everybody has a Kroger or what else do they have? Ralph's, King Super, and there's a couple more. But anywhere where you've got the Simple Truth, they do have a statement that says it is free from wheat. So I did look it up just to make sure. So that was a bit of a relief. So baked beans are one of the favorite sides for my family. I used to make, when I had all of my kids home, I used to make 4 to 5 cans when I made a thing of beans, because not only did they like them that day, but they liked them the next day. And I'm going to preface this with, I had athletes, so you know, a lot of times lentils are used like you stick them in there for something else, to be honest, Christy. But I used to use 3 to 4 cans of beans, and then I would use 3 to 4, or I would use a whole pack of hot dogs. So I just remembered something I forgot because I was supposed to go downstairs and get it. I need ketchup. So that is part of this. So for my beans, I add onion powder, garlic powder. I use dried onions and ketchup, mustard and ketchup. So IT guys, we ran out of ketchup last night. Forgot to put another one in there. So IT guy is going to take care of that for me. And while he's doing that, I'll start doing the mixy mix. So I watch another creator, and he's actually a fitness coach, and he does recipe videos. And he says mixy mixy, but he uses a little phrase at the end that I won't use. So, and it's fine. Doesn't bother me that he uses it. I just choose not to. The other thing my husband asked was if I could please add some bacon, since I'm not doing a lot of processed meats. And while that is processed, I can control it's better than me for a hot for me than a hot dog. And I'm more likely to eat a little bit because there's also fiber in the beans. So I am going to, I know that looks nuts to do that and put the lid on, but I gotta shake it. So the bushes here they are slow simmered with bacon and brown sugar, but they do say gluten-free on the back. So that's awful. We just started using bushes because my whole life I grew up eating Van Camps, and my husband didn't care what we ate, so that's what we ate. And when I had to go gluten-free, another place where there was wheat, so we switched. So, and I say recently because I just didn't eat them for a while, but then I found out I don't know what his name is. He's a Brit, the guy that I watch. And he's hilarious. I love his videos. I really do. Well, there it goes, rocking and rolling again, because it doesn't have because the base isn't flat when on this thing. I don't know if you guys can see that, but he's a Brit, and he's got a little boy, and he loves like Marvel, and he's really fun. But he makes a lot of high protein recipes because, obviously doing this every day, I don't oh, that's what that is making that noise. I got 2 bowls sitting here. So let's see. Then the next thing, I got to get out my glove here before we got on here because I didn't want to have to wait for 20 minutes. I took some chopped up bacon and I put it in my air fryer. So yeah, there's so many creators out there that do recipe videos, and most of them, at least the ones I watch, tend to be really good. There are some I don't watch because they're just not my style. Or I just watch a very few of them. There's a guy named Corey. He's also a comedian, and I don't dislike him as a human. I'm going to go put this on my stove. I don't dislike him as a human, but what I struggle with is he's very loud in his comedy, and it's, you know what? I'm throwing no shade. He is for a different demographic than me, and that's okay. There's people that I like that other people don't like, and so I know there's people who find him absolutely hilarious, and I'm happy for them that they have somebody that they like. So we're going to throw a little bacon in here just to give that a little nice little smokiness. And then we're going to just pop this in. It's got to cook for about 30 minutes or so. Let's go 375 for, we'll check it in 25. So rinse that off and we'll use it later. Okay. And then next, I'm going to get started on the lentil salad here. Because I need to drain these. So, yeah, there are just tons and tons of recipe and cooking channels. And some of them, like, two of my kids watch somebody, she used to be on with Bon Appetit, and she's gone out on her own. Her name is Claire, and she does a lot of things where she tries to recreate recipes. Like when I was looking at the Cheetos stuff for gluten-free Cheetos, she does a Cheetos, but she'll make something like 27, 28 times to get it just perfect. More power to her. Not my thing. Not my kind of gig. So that is not something I would enjoy. It's not something I enjoy watching. But again, I've watched a couple of her videos. I usually watch them at a higher speed because I don't have the patience for that. Just like I've talked about not having the patience for things like a beef Wellington. So, hi Charlene, welcome in. We are making picnic sides today. We have got some potatoes cooking on the cooktop. We've got some baked beans that we've already got in the, I just realized? That's in the air fryer. I don't want them in the air fryer. I want them to bake. Silly me. And we want them to bake for, we'll go for 20 minutes now since it's been in there a few minutes. And we'll go to 375. Oops. Oh well, things happen. Again, I always say it's a real kitchen and I'm a real person. And I make mistakes and I forget things, and we're going to let those lentils just drain for a few minutes. And in the meantime, we are going to, actually, I'll wait on that. We're actually going to make the dressing first for that. And that is, I need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This is a new olive oil we have a place called the Spicy Olive, not too far from where I live. And that's where I got the vinegar I was telling you about the other day. I tried it. I made, that watermelon vinegar I think I told you guys about. I need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then something else I forgot to get out. Dang it. Thought I was on top of it. Thanks, Christy. You're awesome. So, hi, Ann. Welcome in. Oh, from Canada. What part of Canada are you from? Always curious. Would you get me out one of the little discs of frozen lemon juice? You know which one I'm talking about? Okay. And while he does that, I need about a teaspoon of honey. We're going to eyeball that one. And then I need 1 teaspoon of balsamic. We will Teaspoon, I said, right? Not tablespoon. Don't want to go too nuts. Oh, that one pours slowly, so that's good. That would be about right. Little tip, if you've got a lot of lemons and you know you're not going to use them, Rockville, Ontario. Okay, I'm in Ohio, so not we're kind of neighbors. But hi, Joan, welcome in. But anyway, if you've got lemons and you know they're going to go bad, I put these in little silicone molds. They're half teaspoon. So when I need a teaspoon, well, this is a tablespoon. So I'm gonna go light on the lemon for just a minute. We'll see if I need more. So, oh, the watermelon vinegar was insanely delicious. I can't wait to make stuff with it. So we got a tablespoon of water that I already put aside, and then 1 garlic clove that we are going to grate. Come on, you. Ooh, being persnickety today. Thank you. So I'm gonna grate that in there and not take our fingernail off, because that would be bad. Ah, okay, 4 hours away from Toronto. So are you up north of that then, I'm guessing? Is that it? But yeah, sorry, I am all over the place today, aren't I? So the watermelon vinegar. I am going to probably use that on Wednesday to make a little dressing for some watermelon cubes. So that is going to have to be good enough. I'm a little gun shy, what can I say? And I'm going to use that grater again, so we'll deal with that. And then I did catch it. Oh well. I didn't cut anything off. I just want y'all to see that. I just caught it. That's all. I need some salt and pepper. A little bit of salt. So yeah, and I apologize for my Canadian geography ignorance, because I know that one of the closest areas to us is Ontario. I don't know where all the cities are, to be honest. And then I know where British Columbia is and a few other places, but I'm not as schooled as I should be, probably. Oh, this is gonna throw stuff everywhere. We're not gonna like that, are we? All right, we're gonna put our hand over it, because I don't want it all over my kitchen. Maybe because of the lemon in there. Hi, Rosanna. Welcome in. We're making some picnic sides today. All right, I'm going to test that, see how it tastes. This is why we keep this here, so we can wipe our hands. Let's go spoon out. Dang, we hit that one on the first try. Woohoo! But, ooh, that is so good. All right, I need to check the potatoes here real quick. It appears that they might be done. Nope, not quite fork tender yet. So I think IT guy's tired of snapping the beans. He's going to cut them instead. So I'm going to rinse my hands here. I got a little bit of that vinegar still on there. It's sticky. There it is. Okay. And then we're going to get our bowl out. Wipe this down a little bit. Just to the side. I'm going to be using that again, so I'll just put that there. I think we're done with this guy, so we'll put him away. Give ourselves a little bit of space to breathe. Get out a spoon for stirring. So we're going to toss in our lentils, which I think I've got a little more than the recipe calls for. It calls for about 9 ounces. This was a 15-ounce can, but without the juice in there, I'm not exactly sure what it is. And then to that, we are going to add about 1.5 cups of tomatoes that we've diced up to be bite-sized. It calls for cherry tomatoes. That's what I used. So just so y'all are aware. And then we're going to do about, it says 6 to 7 ounces of feta cheese, which is going to be, do we really measure the cheese? I don't know. This kind of stuff I generally don't. I just go for what looks good. I know maybe that would bother some people, but again, this is why we're just discussing. There's certain creators for some people and certain creators for others, because I'm all about you do you and all that stuff. Okay, 8 to 10 hours. All right. So, and I'm 4 hours, like if you know where Cleveland is, I'm on the opposite corner of the state of Ohio. So I'm about 4 hours from Cleveland, 3.5 to 4 hours from Cleveland. Depends on who's driving, to be honest. Let's throw a little bit of, yeah, we'll do that one. We'll throw a little bit of chives in there. Ooh, I cut that, didn't fall apart. Okay. Stir those in. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley. It calls for fresh. I don't have any. So, Ann, you're about as far away from me as I am from Florida. So there you go. About a 10-hour drive, maybe a little more, from Florida. Again, depends on who's driving. And we're going to toss that little bit of, it's not a very big salad, so we don't need a ton of dressing. We're going to put those together so our we're going to set that aside, so we just kind of let the flavors meld and marry and all that good stuff. Going to put that over here where it's out of our way. Alrighty, and then so that salad is done, and we're going to work on, we've got to do another vinaigrette, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse this out. Okay. And for this one, we're gonna do more. It's also a balsamic, but there's a little more. So, the garden looks like a jungle right now, but I'm kind of afraid to harvest too much when it's hot. If it's stuff that I can take out and it's out of the garden, tomorrow morning I might harvest a bunch of I have like 4 turnips that are ready to go, and that's going to clear out a lot of space. And if I do that, then you know what? Hang on a second. I don't want to use a balsamic for this. I want a champagne vinegar. I'll be right back. So I'm going to grab that out of my, I don't know, this potato and green bean thing. I want something a little lighter than a balsamic, or than a balsamic. So I have this lovely champagne vinegar that I'm going to try. And I'm going to need, I need a knife. Hang on. I wish they would make, I know they're not supposed to make them too easy to get in, but I mean, it shouldn't be like Fort Knox to get into a bottle of vinegar. You know what I'm saying? And this one is, and this is supposed to be a really good one, at least online when I was looking for champagne vinegars one day. Forget what I ended up not making whatever it was, but vinegars last forever, so you don't really have to worry about it. So, hi Sharon, welcome. Doing picnic sides today. So we've got our beans in the oven. We've got some potatoes cooking for a potato and green bean salad. We've already mixed up a lentil salad. Hopefully those potatoes are done in a minute or two, and we can start putting things together. But oh my goodness, bless you. That would be IT guy. He was outside. He had to do the dreaded pre-game for cutting the grass. The Hubs is going to cut the grass tonight, and the pre-game means he had to clean up the yard from the dogs. So we need a 1/4 cup of vinegar. We need about a tablespoon this time of the honey, or you could use maple syrup, or you could use golden syrup if you wanted, if you're in the UK. Or probably, I don't know, Canada, do you have golden, do you guys use golden syrup up there? That stuff is the bomb. I'm telling you, golden syrup is absolutely fabulous. I make my my peanut brittle. I put some of that in my peanut brittle. So we're going to grate ourselves in another clove of garlic. That's why I grab a really big one, so that I don't feel the need to like do the whole thing. So you asked about my garden, Christy, and I have a problem with my garden, and that problem happens to be that I've got some flowers that I planted that I was following a gardening channel and bought some of their seeds, and these are supposed to help plants grow. This thing has taken over my garden, and they're like 3 feet tall. I'm like, are you kidding me? So kind of annoying, but tis what it tis, as we say around here. All right, 2 teaspoons of Dijon. There's 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Seems like Dijon in a champagne vinaigrette kind of works, right? And then some sea salt. Now, like I tell you guys, I don't generally add salt when I'm cooking, but I do at the end, and I usually don't use as much as they call for in other things. Pepper. No matter how much I put in, my family will put in more. And then we need 6 tablespoons of the olive oil. I love that sound. I don't even drink, but I love that sound. 6 tablespoons. So that is right here. I'll tell you what, if you don't have one of these little guys, this is a great thing to have. I should add that to the list of tools that we have on the descriptions. This has milliliters, tablespoons, teaspoons, and ounces up to, the last line is 5, so 6 ounces is the top. It is a really, can't tell you how often we use this thing. Comes in so handy, especially when you don't want to do like 3 tablespoons of something or 4 tablespoons or whatever. So, all right. I'm going to grab a paper towel this time instead of my hand to go around this. Hopefully, it's not too much of a mess. Here we go. Yeah, I had a feeling. There's more in there, so it actually is less. Oh, God, yes, it was bad. Gone it. All right, not bad. Don't you dare laugh at me. IT guy's cracking up. Oh, well. It's warranted. That was ridiculous. Oh, well. This is for the potato salad. The potato and green bean salad. So, whew, goodness me. That's going to be a cleanup afterwards. So, I get annoyed. That's going to make IT guy smile for the rest of the day, though. Laughing at his mother. He just shook his head yes. So, yeah. I'm a great source of amusement for my children. Isn't that nice? So anyway, that was, I actually took a balsamic. I guess I should taste this, right? Actually, I'm going to add a little more honey. It's very tart. And because I threw the other thing in the dishwasher already, or in the sink, it's still too tart for me. I'm going to add a little more honey. And a bit more pepper. So, see, now, if I was doing this by myself, I would hurry up and clean this up, and I wouldn't even tell Mr. 513 that I did it. But now I know I'm going to be, there's no way I'm going to escape. That's better. Still has that tang to it, but not, I don't need it to make me pucker, if you know what I mean. Now I'm going to check on the, I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Again, got stuff all over them. Wonder why that is. Ha ha ha. And then we'll check the beans to see if they need to go further. And I'm pretty sure those potatoes are done. So we will pull those out real quick. You know, I think those look good. And then, this is hot. No, it is not. Okay, we're going to put that there. And we need this water, so I'm not going to completely pull that out. I'm going to grab one of my slotted spoons. Again, this is one I got at the this is one I got at the Asian store. So and that's the last one. Just to make sure. Yeah, fork goes in all of them. So I'm going to set those aside for a second. You want to give me those green beans? Are those the bad ones? Okay, we're going to pop these in here. We're not going to cook those very long, but I'm going to pop the lid back on them. We just kind of want to blanch them, essentially. I guess that one's holding the garbage. Rinse the bowl out. I used the wrong bowl. Oh, no, I didn't. It's right there. Okay, I'm losing it. Sorry, guys. Thought I used the wrong bowl, but I didn't. All right, so I made tossed, removed the potatoes. I added the green beans. I made the vinaigrette. Okay, and then while those are cooking, real quickly, we're going to take these potatoes now that they've drained. This is a really interesting thing that they suggest you do with these. Rather than cutting them, nothing of consequence just fell, by the way, in case you heard that. I'm looking forward to the weekend because we are going to do some, you got it, picnic sides, got it. Okay. My husband is actually going to be off for like 4.5 days, counting Saturday and Sunday. So we have some plans and things we want to do to kind of organize some things around here, and I can't wait. Rather than cutting these potatoes, they suggest what they call tearing them. What it does is it gives you more surface area, but they're hot, so they haven't had a chance to really cool down. So you can do this with your hands. You can help it along with a fork, which I think is what I'm going to do with as hot as they are. And then you can kind of pull them into bite-sized pieces. But it's better than cut. They absorb more dressing and they taste better. I've tried them both ways. So this is such a good salad. I'm telling you. And the recipe that I have calls for a dill vinaigrette, but I liked the idea of a champagne better. So again, I was just holding it too long. So much easier with the fork for sure. Just kind of split them apart. So, anybody got big plans for the 4th, or is everybody just kind of hanging out? The 4th is the only day we do something. Hopefully, it doesn't rain. My niece is having a pool party after a family golf outing, which I used to play in every year, but just kind of lost interest. So I used to play for my husband. This is his thing. This is I've had more discussions about this particular piece of my marriage than anything else, which is funny because my husband's diabetic. So uh, I have told people that is part of my marriage contract that I am in town, I am in my home, we do not travel for the 4th of July. And people are like, what do you mean? And I was like, it was made very clear before we ever got married, we are here for the 4th of July. And oh, there you go. Tearing the potatoes. Yeah, it's amazing. It's funny because it's like when you see it, it makes sense because like for roasted potatoes, they always what they call rough up the potatoes, and this is kind of a way to rough up the potatoes. But it's so funny because people are like, I wouldn't marry somebody who told me I couldn't travel on the 4th of July. And I was like, look, if you know my husband, that's literally the only thing he asks of me. He had no demands. That man is he's a wonderful human being. He had zero demands. And so, no, I'm going to honor that for sure. But Oh, your grandmother made the salad. Okay, cool. I love that. Um, and then there's one more thing I needed to cut up that I did not cut up before stream. So I'm going to grab a knife real quick. And that is, this is why I tried it. Believe it or not, this is why I tried this. I am not a huge lover of olives, or I never was growing up, but these are the best olives. They're Castelvetrano. Costco used to make these big jars of them, and now, or they used to sell them, and now they don't sell them anymore since COVID, which is a bummer because they're so good. And I realized I never liked olives because I only had the Spanish olives that have, they say they have pimentos in them, and they're not pimentos. That's the other thing. Like the manzanilla olives, those are not pimentos, or at least they never used to be. They were actually red peppers. I don't like bell peppers. So, yes, I'm going to use the rest of the jar. So, all right, we're going to cut those little guys up. Wild day here in the kitchen. I've made a lot of messes and mistakes. So, but this happens. This is also why I would suggest to people that they make things ahead of time and not when they're under pressure, because you tend to make mistakes when you're under pressure. My husband and I used to get up in the morning, and he used to swear that deviled eggs are best the day they're made. And so he would get up with me. I can't complain about that. He would get up and say, let's just make them the day of. And we would. And it would be stressful. And we would be rushing to get out the door and all those things. And one year I said, can we just make them the day before? We'll just make them the night before. It's not that long. And we get to the picnic that year, and he's like, that was a lot easier. I was like, yeah, it was. So, oh, I know. Joan, they're amazing. This only called for half a cup, so eating one, not a problem. Because I was putting more than half a cup in anyway. Now, truth be told, this recipe calls for the green beans only going for about 3 minutes. I need mine to be a little more cooked than that. But we're going to go ahead and pull these out. I'm going to try one. They're too crunchy. I'm going to leave them in there for a while. So, yeah. I need them a little less crunchy. Hey, Ruby, there you are. The gang's all here. Well, not all of them, but most of the gang is here. One of my regular watchers was like, I'm behind. And I'm like, you're never behind. Seriously. Just come show up. Whenever you can make it, you can make it. You don't have to watch the ones you missed. You can just hang out with us whenever. So, but, if you like your veggies crunchier, then by all means, do the 3 minutes. But fresh green beans, I need to cook for a little bit longer than that. So, hi, Susan. Welcome. We're doing some picnic sides today. Getting my last little one in there. I don't know if you guys saw, but I tossed the rest of those green onions in there. Got everything for that. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, I'm good. All right, let me get another spoon. This one. We'll just use this one. We're going to dress these potatoes before we get out the green beans. So that's champagne vinaigrette. That'll give the potatoes a little time to soak that up. So Ruby got us all the regulars that she saw anyway. So, and if there are other regulars and we haven't called you on, I apologize. So sometimes I don't see the names fly by when people say hi. So I apologize if I missed you. So grab another bowl. Grab the strainer. We're going to grab out about 8 ounces of those green beans. There it is. I just had it. All right. Okay. And I know I've got more than 8 ounces in there, so I'm going to just kind of turn that off. And I'm going to let those guys do their thing. I'm going to shock these so they stop cooking with some cold water. The other thing is, if I was making these things, excuse me for the hiccup, if I was making them for a picnic, obviously I would make them at different times. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't make them willy-nilly all 3 at the same time. So I'm going to grab the lentil salad here and one of my lovely summer plates. They're paper. Don't get too excited. It's the paper plates. So ta-da. Less dishes is always better. But I am going to put some of this lentil salad on here. My family won't eat much of this. This one will be all for me, which is fine. Either that or I'll share some with my neighbor. She loves all my experiments, and I love sharing with her. So there's that. I may have grabbed a pinch of bacon while I was over there. Don't tell anybody. Okay. Those are drained. Toss those in there. Move this way. Now, I will reiterate, this salad can be served warm or cold, or room temperature. I prefer it warm, to be honest. I think it's better that way. And you can see how having torn the potatoes, like, they made a creaminess in the whole salad, which is awesome. So, add some of that to my plate here. And yeah, I'm pretty much going to have a plate of veggies for dinner. The guys may make some burgers. I don't know if I'll have one, but I may just go completely salad crazy. Or side crazy, I guess I should say, because the next one isn't a side or salad, it's a side, and that is baked beans. Put my lovely glove on for that. I'm going to push this to the side so we've got a little more space for us. Use that fork and that spoon. And I'm going to put these in the sink, or on the sink, I guess I should say. And then another spoon. Good thing I've got a lot of them. Somebody asked me one time, they were like, oh, I forgot a spoon. I'm like, I've got plenty. And when I kept pulling them out, they're like, why do you have so many spoons? I'm like, because I cater sometimes. And what's funny is I know of other people who cater, and when they've got extra like utensils, they'll bring them to me because they know I use them. And then just a little more. And if you've ever catered anything, or you've catered regularly, you know that you lose stuff a lot. So you buy like the generic kind of, when you're at a buffet, like at a wedding or something, and it's not a fancy buffet, and they've got those little plastic spoons and stuff. I have like dozens of those because I take those and then I don't worry if they come home with me. So now we're taking the gloves off, as they say. Yeah, me too, Joan. I love it when they melt with other flavors. So let's give them a try. All right, so I'm going to tell you, I've made this one before. I think I've made this one twice. And I changed the dressing up each time. So I'm really excited to try this one because I think that's the best dressing I've done. This is something I've made probably for 40 years, and I've changed it up. I know there are people who season it a lot more than I do, but I don't like green peppers and stuff in my baked beans. That's not a thing for me. I don't like green peppers in anything, especially my baked beans. And then the lentil is something new that I tried. So I'm going to try the lentil salad first because it's kind of late. It's been kind of a day. So this has brown lentils, and it's got tomatoes and parsley and feta cheese. And I'm going to add more to that. It needs more, if that makes sense. It's a little heavy on the lentils, which is fine, but they're not, I don't know, there's just not, I feel like it could have more to it. So I got to think about what I'm going to add to that. So I may put that one on the website when I figure that out. And I'll let everybody know when I do that. But, so that one's okay. This one, and I think I'd rather use a fork for this. The green beans still have a lot of texture to them. Might be a little bit too much for my family. That's okay. They can put it in the microwave. It'll cook them some more. So, but I understand. You know what, Edward? I feel the same way about goat cheese. I know people love it. I can't stand it. But what I would suggest, if you don't like feta cheese, you could use anything in that. Honestly, you could. I think mozzarella might get lost because of the vinaigrette. But if you switched up the vinaigrette, you might be able to do that. Or added some basil. You could do a mozzarella, like a riff on a caprese salad. You could even do a cheddar, to be honest. But I would do the same thing I just did with the potatoes. Rather than cutting it, I would like tear pieces off. I am, yes, some of the cucumber, Brittany, for sure. That's exactly what I was thinking, actually. I need to throw some cucumbers in here and maybe put a little bit of celery in there as well. So that would be my thing is, and I'm all about that. Edward, if you don't like one of the ingredients I use, you use what you use, what makes you happy, for sure. So, hi, Brittany. So both the Brittany's. I love it. But we've got two different spellings, so that makes it a lot easier. So anyway, this with the champagne vinaigrette, so good. I'll definitely be finishing that. And then our baked beans today, my husband asked if I would add some bacon, so I had cut up some bacon and put that in there. This is comfort food. Even in the summertime, I do not mind eating hot baked beans because it is such a comfort food for me. And when you're gluten-free, you lose a lot of your comfort food sometimes. Now, there are substitutes, but for me, a lot of those substitutes raise my blood sugar too high, so I have to watch that. Um, because a lot of them are made with rice flour or a combination of rice flour and some other grain flour, and they're actually higher in carbs and lower in fiber than some other things. Now, if you can't eat that kind, if you've got to eat something like that because you need the nutrients, then, by all means, I tell people to eat it. I need to not eat it. Everybody is different. And I'm not telling people don't eat brown rice pasta. I'm not telling people any of that stuff. If it works for you, eat it. I have no problem with that. Um, oh, there's Havarti with dill in it. That would be really good. Yeah, you're right. That would be so good. I love Havarti cheese too. A dill white cheddar. No way. Where'd you get that? Did you get that at a local place or did you get that at a chain? Because that would be amazing. Um, I didn't know that about you, Joan. So I've learned something about a friend of mine. So yeah, I don't know what it is about goat cheese. It just I don't know. It tastes sour to me, and sour cheese is a scary thing for me. What can I say? Mm. So anyway, I would 100% take this or this to any gathering. This I need to play with, and I need to figure out something so it doesn't feel balanced. Let's put it that way. Um, so I need to play with that. Now the vinaigrette we used is fine, but I just feel like it's missing something, if that makes sense. So it needs some things. So would you mind telling us what the brand of the grocery store was? Because depending on where everybody is, they may or may not have that, and I think people would love to find that. I used to have a friend who had a butcher shop, and he's passed, and they closed the butcher shop when he passed, and he had all kinds of things like that. He had um, a Cotswold cheddar with chives in it. That we have one of the longest running indoor outdoor markets in the country in Cincinnati, and we would go down there not every week, but at least once a quarter. We would go down there and we would shop, and we always hit that place on the way out, and we always got that Cotswold cheddar with the green onion in it, and it never made it home, or rarely made it home unless we got a whole pound of it. So we would get like a quarter pound of it, and we would just share it on the way home. So good, but we also didn't want to get too much because we would eat it all, and that's not good for you to eat a pound of cheese in a couple days. So anyway, oh okay. So it's a Michigan based place. Alrighty. Well, darn. But I'll have to look through that. So yeah, I know this is, not the original kind of feta. And I know I've had good feta. This is the thing you'll find about like cheeses from other nations, that when we have them, they have a different flavor. Like a true feta that is made by somebody from the Mediterranean as opposed to a commercial brand, it's much milder. Um, things are they tend to be a lot more subtle unless they're not supposed to be. Like I don't even eat Stilton cheese because the smell of it. I don't like blue cheese of any kind. And that's what Stilton reminds me of, is a blue cheese. But I have had one type of Roquefort cheese, which is a blue cheese technically, but it wasn't Albanian blue. It was really, really mild, and it was put into a cream sauce, and I was stunned that I actually liked it. So, um, I don't know, but it's something, because it's just, I don't think it's as salty. The feta that I've had that was like at Mediterranean restaurants that are authentic, um, like they make their own cheese sometimes. So, or they get it from some supplier that's not, you know, President feta cheese. And it's not bad. I buy it all the time, but, um, you know, I got to get some Satar. Everybody says it's so good. I got to get some and try some. And it's something I've never tried. So what do? You just sprinkle it on like a piece of feta? How do you eat it, Brittany? See, I love these kind of conversations. We learn so much from each other, right? And it'll take a second because there is a delay. That way, for IT guy, if there's somebody that's being that's one of my favorite creators says, a toxic twat waffle. Um, he has time to put the band hammer on them. So, but we might have lost Brittany. I don't know. But anyway, so there you go. There's my three. The new one, which is generally happens with me. Um, the new one needs work. And then, because I always make it the way they want it, and then I make it the way I want it. So, this one, I played around with it. Like I said, with the champagne vinaigrette, I'm calling this one a winner. And then this is just comfort food. And for those who weren't around at the beginning, because I need to be gluten-free, I now use these bushes, and they are the ones that are slow simmered with classic slow simmered. Easy for me to say. Slow simmered classic with bacon and brown sugar. Okay, so do you do any like olive oil with that, Brittany? Just curious. So I did that. I do some chopped onions. I like this because if you put, I've used fresh onions. If I use fresh onions, sometimes it can be a little juicy, a little too saucy, and we like it a little thicker. I do. My husband would take it saucy. He wouldn't care. I put a little bit of garlic powder in there, a little bit of onion powder. Yes, I know it's double onion. I don't care. This is upside down because it's almost gone. So a little bit of mustard. Actually, it does say on here gluten-free food. And then ketchup. So the one thing we didn't do, and the reason we didn't is because of the timing on it. I did not put together the meat for the summer sausage. I am probably going to do that later tonight so that I can make it in the morning. It's got to cook for 2 hours. It's going to be hot here, and my apologies to Joan because I know she's in Florida and it's brutal down there. It's brutal down there. It's here. It's in the mid to upper 90s, but it's also humid, so not fun. This is August weather. I keep reminding them we're in June. This is August weather. Heat we're used to in late June, early July. The humidity doesn't usually show up terribly until August. But so I've heard that, Brittany, that okay, so drizzle a little feta with some. There you go. Learning all these things. Everybody's got things that they can teach other people. I love, love, love that. So we might have to just do ourselves a little cheese tasting one of these days, and I'll get input from all you guys of things we have to try. So anyway, there you go. There's the review. There's the plate. That's going to be dinner. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow we are doing a charcuterie tray that you could take to a picnic or just have at home when you don't feel like cooking. So I'm excited about that. I got to go into the grocery actually and grab a few things that I need for that tomorrow. And I will see you then. I'm sure IT guy will be here in a minute, but I will remind you all to eat well, to be well. No, I am not actually a fan of gorgonzola either. So I don't really like those kind of like really powerful cheeses. I'm more on the mild side, except I do love even an extra sharp cheddar. So, yeah. You know what, Aldi, we have an Aldi not too far from here, and there's a couple really good ones a little further away. So I would definitely do that. But anyway, I will see you guys all tomorrow, same time. We'll be putting that charcuterie together, and hopefully I will have the homemade summer sausage ready to go as well, and we'll do a taste test of that and see if that's any good. So I'm doing it with beef and ground turkey, so it should be a little bit less fatty and a little bit, less heavy. So I will see you guys tomorrow, regular time. I will definitely enjoy my sides. Thank you for all the cheese input. We might have to very much think about that for something in the future, especially as hot as it is. So I love you guys. I will see you soon. Bye bye.